Oh, this is what we're doing. Show 1 of 158. Almost one down. 157 to go. 53 cities. Sometimes 2 to 3 shows at a time. Plus additional cities being added. Go to HasanMinhaj.com for tickets.
All right, so for starters, tell me how much your life has changed in the last year.
I basically went from hosting a weekly television show, having an office, a place that I go to every day, having a team of people, a team of writers, researchers, producers, animators, designers, people that I work with every day, to then finishing that show during COVID, saying goodbye to everybody like through Zoom, and then transitioning to a new chapter of my life where wrote and developed the new one-man show and special that we're gonna be doing next year.
And there he is, ladies and gentlemen. Tyler Babin, videographer to the stars. Let's go. Do you remember how we met?
It was like 3 years ago in G's office, I think.
Yeah, but you were getting cyberbullied by Garrett. We were in there, and this dude just kept roasting you.
My heart breaks, by the way, because now I'm on like Team Empathy, because you get it so hard in every single video.
Babin.
My God.
You're a real
Babin, holy
a real
shit.
fucking fan.
Babin.
Like a heart.
And I was like, oh, I just finished Homecoming King. The next time I start working on my next special, you should start documenting it from the moment I'm writing it, so we can show people how you start from scratch.
So this is us in the basement, you know, even though we're getting ready to do this big theater tour with stage design and lighting design and graphic design and all that stuff. It just starts here in the basement. This is it. I basically wrote out the entire show, every beat of the show on these sticky notes behind me, and it's just an emotional vomit that's about 110 minutes. And then I go up on stage and I try all that material. I riff it out. I see what works, what's alienating, what's not working, what is working, what our audience is resonating with.
No, it's really good to be here, and I don't know if COVID did exist in Tennessee or not, but I was on lockdown for 14 months.
I'm purely just looking at clarity. Are people who maybe haven't been following what he's been doing for the last year, like, is this making sense to people?
Yes.
That's the first hurdle of like putting together any nascent show.
Prashant is my South Indian brother from another mother. We have done everything together. Homecoming King, the Correspondence Dinner, we co-created Patriot Act together. And this dude is coming into his own, and now he's a full-on writer-director, and he's directing The King's Jester.
Tonight, I want to talk about something very controversial. Prashant's birthday. He wears these goddamn Allbirds every single day.
Oh my God. Then when you go lights out, thank you guys, people are like, I fucking love this show because not only did it move me emotionally, but I understand what his point is. Having something that is kind of rough.
Yeah, it's almost like everything that we do is produce.
Okay, so when you start a new show, it is super humbling. Basically, like, my ego had to eat shit for two main things. The first was, I haven't performed in like a year and a half. And then the second is, you're leaning on nothing. There is no existing material that you can go back on.
I'll give you a fair warning. Just know, when you poke the bear, sometimes the bear might poke back. It's totally fine. Just loved ones are almost dying. It's okay. Jesus Christ. Fuck. I can't. People drank too much and they gotta go pee-pee. You good? Okay. Okay, that's cool. Yep. Go for it. It's all good. It's all good. We're only infertile. That's all that. Know what I'm doing? How you doing? You good? Cool. All right. Okay. All right. That's just really random. That was super random. And by the way, the confidence by which you were just... You didn't even look at me, bro. You didn't even look at me.
So how do you know if the show is actually working or not? How do you know if it's coming together the way you envision it?
you know, I've been just doing this long enough, rather than fixating on every single zigzag that the road could take us on, I'm just fixating on, all right, what's the next thing that I can do with the most amount of agency and clarity? Looking beyond that, I just can't. I'm trying to, I've tried to sometimes, and it just, you know, sends me into a full-on like anxiety panic attack, so. New York, I'm doing a run at Fat Black, right? One of the things I always try to do is, whenever I get kind of the set in somewhat of a working order, I bring it to friends basically to just rip it to pieces. So I hit up Ronnie yesterday and I was like, hey, will you come open and just do 20 up top? And so he's gonna do 20 before. He's gonna watch the full 70-minute set that we were out in North Carolina workshopping. I put it up in front of Ronnie, and I'm just gonna be like, hey Ronnie, rip it to pieces. Like, where is this illogical? And one of the chunks that we're actually getting into is a big chunk about, like, you know, getting into legal trouble over jokes. Ronnie's a former attorney.
Everyone's favorite immigrant.
One more time for Ronnie Chang, let him hear it. Thanks all for coming out. It's been like a year and a half since I've been performing comedy, so this means a lot to me. And I just out of curiosity, why is like the average age here like 16? I'm trying to expand where I did Homecoming King. It's like, yeah, I can tell you the story of my upbringing. This is, I want to tell you why I believe what I believe, and how like me questioning things, what jokes mean to me, fame, religion, all that.
And you made it, and something I haven't seen you do yet when you were doing this hour when I saw it before was now you turn it on yourself. You're like, I'm the fucking problem, because I was addicted to the likes. And that's great, I guess everyone's saying it's true and it's just something real there. So yeah, that was killer.
It's really important that like you show artistic growth, especially considering the last special I did was 4 years ago. So by the time this next special comes out, it'll be half a decade since Homecoming King came out. That's the pressure that I have on myself right now. Like, hey man, your sophomore album better not lean on the same tropes and stories that you had in the first album. Thanks for coming out tonight. It's really great to be here in Winston-Salem. This is my 4th show back in over a year. So I'm so thrilled to be doing this with y'all tonight.
Tyler, listen. Malala follows me on Instagram. And I don't follow her back. I'm sorry, Malala. Oh, fuck.
The elusive feeling that I'm chasing. By the time I look down at my watch and it's like, I've been on stage for 73 minutes, and I go, thank you so much, good night. And then I hear like Jamie or somebody tells me, like in the lobby as people were leaving, they were like, that was fucking awesome. Because there's so much that is not fucking awesome in life. Like there's so many like bad meals you have, or like bad movies you watch, or like have that conversation that you had in a parking lot outside the movie theater when you saw The Matrix for the first time. Do you remember? Like I remember seeing it with friends in high school, and like we just walked around the parking lot of Holiday Cinema being like, that was so good. That was awesome. That's like the elusive thing that I'm trying to chase.
So what are you hoping people get out of this?
I hope it shows people just a look into the process of what it means to make a special, what it means to tour and do 100 plus shows in 6 months. It's the other kind of like 23 hours of the day. People generally get to just see you that 1 hour on stage, just to show those other aspects of what it means to be a creative person, without showing my kids.
And I say, ooh.